Hi everyone, I'm Shelly here at the Blythewood Bee Company. Abby is behind me filming. Today we're going to build a hive and we are going to put together an 8-frame Langstroth hive. Langstroth is your square boxes with the frames and foundations in them. We'll show you a top bar later. So here is a stand, well this is actually 2 stands we have here, but here is a rebar stand that we sell here at the Blythewood Bee Company. You can use anything you'd like for a stand, some cinder blocks, you can build a wood frame, but your hives should never be down on the ground. They're susceptible to everything climbing into them then. So this is a bottom board. This is actually a bottom board with an insert. So in the hot summer months, you're going to take your insert out and let that breeze come up through that screen mesh. In the winter or really bad weather days, you're going to want that insert in to protect the temperature of the hive. So the very first thing you do is you put your bottom board on your stand. Now, I want you to think about where you're going to put your hive. You have to work from behind. You don't ever stand in front of your hive where the bees are coming and going. You work from behind. Also remember that your hive should get morning sun and afternoon shade. So before you build your hive, really take a look at the land that you're placing it on. Do they have a good water source? Is there good nectar source out there? And do you have room to work from behind your hive? So here is our stand. Here is our bottom board with our screen insert. This here is called a Beetle Blaster. That's the next thing I'm going to put on here. It's not if you get beetles, it's when you get beetles. They're out there, they're going to get in that hive. So this goes on just like this, and as you see, there's holes in there, but there's a groove underneath each of these holes. The bees can fly in, but because of how the beetles are shaped, they can't get through there. They can't, so they'll just fall there and die. So I am going to use a Beetle Blaster in every one of my hives because I am going to block those little stinkers from getting in any way I can. The very next thing, oh, this is an 8-frame Langstroth, by the way, not a 10-frame, but an 8-frame. If you're a woman doing beekeeping or older, you might want to stick with an 8-frame because they get heavy. When they get filled with bees, when they get filled with capped honey, they are heavy to lift and move. But 10 frames are wonderful. That's what's normally run. This here is a 10 frame. I'm doing an 8 frame right now. So this big box is called a brood chamber or a deep. That goes on next. So you will hear, how's your brood chamber? How's your deep? Both of them are this box. Inside there, I am going to put 8 frames with foundation on. 8 frames because it's an 8-frame Langstroth. In my brood chambers, I like to run black foundation because I'm always looking for eggs or larvae. This is the chamber that the queen is going to lay all the eggs in. And if you're using white foundation, and you're looking for a tiny little pinprick of white, it's really hard to see. So in my brood chamber, I like to use black foundation so that I can pull a frame out and back up into the sunshine and go, oh, look at all those eggs, or look at all that larva. And I can turn it this way and say, oh, she's laid on both sides. So, but that's my preference. My husband doesn't like the black foundation. So I have my bottom board, my Beetle Blaster, and my brood chamber set up. Then the next thing that goes on there is my medium or my honey super. Both of these boxes have two names, brood chamber or deep, honey super or medium. This is where all those workers are going to get busy and put that nectar. In there, I like white. Even though they cap the honey, you're still able to see the color of it through the wax cappings. And it's just, I don't know, it's prettier on the white, but the black is just as good. It makes no difference. It's just your own personal preference. So 8 frames go into here, 8 medium frames, and they have foundation on them. Now our foundation is triple coated wax. So it's a plastic foundation dipped 3 times in wax, and it just helps them build on it faster. Some foundation you can buy is pure wax, and then you have to insert it yourself. Other foundation is uncoated, and it just takes them a long time to get started on it. So we've got our honey super on. Then this is called an inner lid cover. It is going on next, and I just am gonna set it right up on top. Now, it looks a little wobbly, but once there are bees in there, bees propolize everything. It's bee glue. And they will seal this box to that box. They will seal this box to the bottom. They will seal this inner lid cover to this box. That's why you need a hive tool, because you have to pry it off, which is why we have the telescopic lid. It's shiny metal on top. It's got lips going over the side. It's so that when it rains, it flows off. If it just sat on top, water would seep in. But even this will get propolized down in some spots. But the reason it's like this is so that you can lift it off. And then you can take your hive tool and pry the rest of it apart to check your hive. The last step I'm going to use today, this is an entrance reducer. Right now, bees are welcome to come and go in this entire entrance. Also, anything else that flies or crawls is welcome to come or go in that entrance. So use an entrance reducer. I like to use just this one tiny little inch of an entrance reducer. Each bee in the hive has a job, and if they need more of them to be guards, to kick out what's coming in, then they're not doing other jobs. But trust me, this entire hive can thrive just having this tiny little entrance. You will watch them come out, you will watch them go in. They wait their turn. It's amazing, just absolutely amazing. This is the setup of a Langstroth hive. 8-frame Langstroth hive. Come over here and I'll show you what a top bar looks like. This is a beautiful top bar built by Kevin. Pure cedar. I'm gonna open it up. On the top of this one, he actually has a deep. I believe this is 8-frame. He has a deep, so you would put 8 frames in here for their honey. On the bottom, this is the Queen Excluder. I didn't put one on that hive. Some people like them, some don't. Personally, I think if the queen has enough room in her brood chamber, she isn't going to come lay eggs where they're putting honey. She doesn't want to do that. I might need a tool. Oh, see, this is a top bar because inside this hive, it's like a giant V. So you have, this is the bar. This would be the foundation, the frame that I put in the Langstroth. This is their frame. This little V here is covered with wax, and the worker bees will just start building on it. They will build comb on it. So it's solid comb without a foundation between it. And they will fill one after another with comb. I should bring some of my husband's and show you. So this is a top bar. Most top bars do not have a honey super on it. Kevin built this and it's a really special hive. This is normally what most top bar hives are. All the honey, all the bees in one place. But he has built this top bar. So the whole bottom is the brood chamber. Then he has put a Queen Excluder on it. And then this beautiful honey super. This is an amazing, amazing hive he has built. So Langstroth top bar, that's the building of two different kinds of hives. Next week, we're going to show you how to insert a nuke into your hive. Have a good week.